Okay, welcome everybody to the Real Talk podcast. This is episode number 17. Now, this is where we bring you inspiring, motivating, and empowering content to take your life to the next level. Now, Real Talk, hashtag Real Talk is really about, dealing with real issues that real people are going through, and we try to bring you real solutions to your problems. Now, here's a bonus. Every Wednesday now, okay, hashtag Real Talk is going to be taken over by GenInvest, and I'm going to be joined by my very special guest and a really good friend, Mr. Gary Edwards. Gary, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I am the founder of Keep On Squirrelling, and we have the financial education program for primary schools.
Wow, right, so this guy is a thought leader in finance and understanding finance, but drilling it down to such a level of simplicity that people in school, children in school, what ages are we talking about?
7 to 11.
7 to 11.
2.
Key stage 2 are actually grasping this and enjoying it.
Absolutely.
I think you're getting some really good reviews I'm hearing from schools.
Because like you said, it's making complex, breaking down to simple, yet making it fun and engaging. And we have so much fun in the primary schools.
Come on.
Children love it.
All right, well, we're hoping that these podcasts will also be fun, okay, and simple for you to go away from here and take massive action, take your life to the next level. Now, one of the things that we're going to start off with, and we're going to be bringing these every week, but I wanted to talk about why it's now important for you to become financially smart and financially astute. We can classify this about increasing your financial IQ. I think it's time to do that. Gary, would you say that's important?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, the reason I wanted to do this, I was just looking at my daughter who's studying her GCSEs at the moment, and obviously all the kids around and getting the mock exams and things like that. And in society, it's ingrained in us now. Okay, that if you're going to be a success, you've got to go to school, got to get your GCSEs, A-levels or B-Tech or whatever it is now. Okay, I'm out of the system, so I'm not too sure. Get your degree, and these things will allow you to be successful. Now, what's surprising is we have seen higher numbers of kids go to higher education, higher applications going to university, but that's not affecting the knock-on effect of how people manage their money. Now, that's the scary thing. And, if I want to go into some facts, there's some real facts before we go into, the topic of today. Go into some facts that maybe you don't know, but I think that once you hear them, you should be alarmed. I'm alarmed. Okay, and I think you should be alarmed as well. Now, the National Office of Audit, now you imagine, this is from the government, so they can't lie, say that 8 million people are unable to pay their debts. 8 million people. Now, I know one of the reasons why you set up your organisation is because you understood that people in debt and people not managing money causes stress to the family home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now you're going to specifically talk about debt facts.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, if you look at the family unit, if you look at the home, finances, top 5 for divorce, top 5 for stress, and the top 10 for suicide, is having a huge impact on mental health.
Wow. And we've seen, in the news all over now, that one of the biggest areas that's really putting a strain on the NHS is mental health. And a lot of people are really struggling with their finances. So you see here from 8 million people are going to be struggling mentally that they can't pay. Because I know what it's like when you don't have enough money. I've been there. Okay, you can't think about anything else. When you've got no money coming in, you've got bills going out.
Yes.
The stress of that is incredible. Now, another fact that I got from the National Audit Office, in 2017 they said it was the first time in 30 years of study that the average family saw their outgoings surpass their income. Do you know? So on average, most people's outgoings was far greater than their income, which only creates more debt. People gotta have to still pay their bills and things like that, but we're spending more and more, okay, and we've got more stuff in our homes, but we're not increasing our income. But don't worry, just thinking about that, something that's come on the top of my head, one of the special things we're going to bring you an episode, and probably a series of episodes of how to increase your income. That's one of the things that, I really love doing is, how do you take your money from here, 15,000, how do you get to maybe 50,000? I'm going to show you how we do that. We've got evidence, and there's a video I can show you how we took someone from 18,000 to 50,000. But that's gone off topic, So let me give you another fact. Debt charity Step Change, advised that over 619,000 people contacted them last year about debt advice, and most of those people, the high majority of those people, are under 40. So we're talking about young people now.
Young.
And one of the things that they said they were really alarmed about was that more people that were coming through were like 25 and under. How scary is that? Like, you know, at 25, you're meant to be like debt, you know, usually at home maybe, you know, the only problem that you've got is getting the latest trainers, going out. How are you in debt? It's crazy. So we've got all this education, people coming out with degrees and stuff like that, but even more debt. Now, the Money Advice Service said 1 in 3 people don't have enough savings to retire on a standard level of living. We're not talking living lavishly. So we talk about people who've got current problems, and what they're also saying is that we have future problems as well. So that really sets up, you know, why I believe that we really got to talk today's podcast, why we've got to become financially astute. So Gary, I've got some questions and we can go back and forth on some of these. So the first question that I've got is, why do you think when it comes to money management that we in the UK, you know, I can't speak for anywhere else, but I believe America follows this same trend as well. Why in the UK we're struggling so much with getting our heads around money management? Is it that complex? Like, I know people getting degrees in quantum physics. Okay, is money management, like, you know, you talked about simplifying it.
Yes.
Why do you think that we're struggling so much?
I don't think there's
go through that.
one key reason. I think there's a number of reasons. I think if you just look at the home as well, how often is money management, finances, understanding finances discussed at the dinner table or discussed within the home? Right? And I know I will mention an awful lot about the home or the family unit. Because, you know, I believe society starts at home.
100%.
So there's such a focus there. So let's look at, you know, what discussions are happening at home with your children from a young age. So I think there's that. I also then think we're in a society where there's so many shiny things that are coming towards us.
Temptations.
So much. And this whole thing with instant gratification. And then again, if you look back to the children, are they understanding or learning about delayed gratification and having a reason to hold out because there's a bigger yes at the end, rather than it right now, rather than it being instant, rather than us, you know, very much in a microwave culture. You know, click on the microwave, couple of minutes,
gotta have it.
Done, got it now.
Gotta have it.
Put it in the oven, you know.
I wonder if people who are watching this will be able to testify to that. That actually, right now, have you spent something, even over Christmas, you know, that you didn't need? You know, and I'll give you a real story on this. I'm very much into budgets. You know, I love having budgets and sticking to budgets. I got probably a little bit slack, if I'm honest, towards the latter part of last year. Income was a little bit better, so you don't worry as much, but actually that's the worst thing you can do. And I remember being out with my partner, and you know, we had set a budget, and we'd probably gotten over the budget for going out on meals and stuff like that, and we went out. I was like, oh, we should just, you know, go to the grocery store. You know, and she was like, no, let's go out. And I was like, whoa, hold on, the budget, and I could feel myself. But sometimes that's what we do. We go, oh, well, it's only £20 here or £30 here, and before you know it, how many £30 does it take for you to be in debt? You know, so here's a question then. So you talked about the family unit.
Yes.
We know the current culture, under 40s, are not doing well with money management. That's what the facts say. What's going on in schools then? Are you seeing that there's an upward trend to our next generation being better than us? So you're talking to the next generation.
Yes.
Are you seeing that the knowledge in school is, you know, being demonstrated, so we know we don't have to fear? Actually, we don't even have to do these podcasts because the next generation, they're going to take care of everything. Is that what's happening?
Oh, well, I'll add another little statistic in there before we do that. The statistics out there that are showing money management, behaviours, attitudes are happening from the age of 7. Age of 7. So you got to think
there's a form by the age of 7.
7.
Right.
So various things that may contribute to that. You know, high life, learn behaviour, various different things. And now obviously the kids can walk in school and just press their thumb, you know, and you know, use up cash. Because obviously becoming more of a cashless society now. But the key thing is we will see the passion from the children. So there's a passion there to want to, the way we put it across, there's a passion there to want to learn how to manage money and progress forward with it. But then what we must realise is they go home, and there may be a different culture at home, the way the family manage their finances, and it could be great, it could be absolutely terrible.
Right.
If the support is not there, not only from the parents as well as the school, the children then, you got to think, you know, they've got a challenge, they've got a real challenge because they're young. You can see that they want to grow. But is the real support network there from the school itself and the parents? And we can't necessarily knock the parents as well, or even the teachers, because if they don't know, if they don't know, it's like they may want to support, but they don't have the skill set or equipped to be able to do so.
But once again, because you know, as you said, you know, teachers are very good academically, but doesn't mean they're very good in their finances.
Yes.
Here's a surprising fact. I know a lot of accountants, money people, who are very good with other people's numbers, but terrible with their own finances. So as you're rightly saying, if that environment's not there for our next generation,
yes.
and this is what we're hoping to do with GenInvest and, you know, keep on squirreling, is give you an environment, whether that be a video or podcast,
yes.
where you can come in and go, actually, I want to learn. You know, so I may not have it over here, but you can come here and we're going to give you that information and that support that you need. So yes, okay, I'm carrying on. So you were saying.
Absolutely. But what I would also say as well, it comes down to, and also a belief.
Yeah.
From the head teachers within the primary schools, that's always going to be a belief from the parents at home. We've been to primary schools, and not naming it at primary schools. We've had head teachers.
Name them.
Oh,
name them. Name them. Saying those schools.
There's heads sit in front of us and go, we are in a deprived area.
Yeah.
Right. The children in deprived. Their parents are struggling.
Yeah.
Right. They don't get any money. Them learning about money wouldn't make a difference. We have had teachers, head teachers say to us, the children learning about money would not make a difference.
So that's the crazy thing, right? We're looking at people whose financial situations tend to be in, you know, the deprived areas, who actually need money management. You know, one of the reasons that we set up GenHope is that we wanted to reach the masses, not the elite. You know, that's why the rich get oh my gosh, this is correct. That's why the rich get rich and the poor get poorer, because we've got headmasters, saying we don't need to teach children in the inner city about money management. It would make no difference. It would make a huge difference, because you could stop a generational curse. You know, for generations that have been passed down of, you know, debt and poor money management. You know, a guy like this guy, if you're a teacher out there, I'm challenging you right now. If you're a teacher out there, and you haven't booked this guy and he's coming to assembly, we're coming for you. We're going to name shame. We're only joking, but it's important.
Absolutely.
I think it's important.
And at Keep On Schooling, how we see is, if we plant the seeds while the children are young, then maybe we can save a relationship or even a life.
Wow.
So let's go back to the statistics again. Finances, top 5 for divorce. Okay. A child could use the principles, or even if it's one child out of the class or out of the year, could remember the principles that we teach, or remember one principle, apply that moving forward, that can save a relationship. What about the statistics? You know, in the top 10 for suicide, what if, say, one person, that's just one. We've seen a larger scale, but you imagine.
You know, it's crazy because, you know, I'm starting to read a book and I find it really fascinating. I was really intrigued by this whole thing around depression. You know, everyone I know is depressed. Like, seriously, like, it doesn't matter who, you know, everywhere you turn around, how you doing? I'm depressed. I'm like, okay. So, I'm not trying to laugh, it's not a funny matter, but I wanted to understand it. So I thought, like, do you know, instead of me going, oh, okay. So I bought this thick book about depression, and it was showing that a lot of times, you know, what will happen is people are on antidepressants and all these medications, but actually, you don't have to do that. But what you're saying is, if we could, in some areas, stop depression by helping people with money management. Because the thing is, if your finances are better and you're not worried about it and you're not stressed about that, then that's not something that's not going to lead you into depression. You know, but once again, we're not seeing the fundamentals of getting there early. Get the habits in early. Why, you know, you use the word, you know, informative years. These are informative years for children at seven years old. You've got to get in there. Okay, so the concerning thing that you're saying to me, some schools are getting it, but some schools are not. And it's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, why are we not focusing more, if we know it's such a big problem? You know, I'm not too sure if you know the answer to this, but if we know it's a big problem, we know more and more people are getting into debt. We know there's suicides, broken up marriages, you know, more stress, you know, mental health issues. Why are we not doing more about it in schools where we can affect it and we can get to the masses? Unlike once they've left school, we can't necessarily reach them. You know, so why are we not doing that in schools? Why is that not happening?
Well, we can look at reports, and I've seen reports. It's not a priority. It's a low priority. It's especially in primary schools. They're trying to, you know, do more in the secondary schools, but even then, because it's not a must, it really isn't a must. And, you know, money management, financial education, it's more within the life skills subjects, you know, the PSHE, it's not the maths, it's not the English, it's not the science, and even though they are important, we're talking about life skills, which break homes, break families, break individuals.
Do you know, me and my daughter talk all the time about the importance of GCSEs, and, you know, this may be controversial. I'm not really bothered as long as she does her best, because I truly believe this, that her emotional EQ will get her further in life than her academic IQ. Because I think if you can manage money, if you can be wise with money, if you can be a saver, if you can then learn to be an investor, that's going to get further than algebra. And I'm not knocking algebra, but I can't understand why, so maybe we have to start a petition, start lobbying Parliament. On a serious note, and I think more and more people, we should be doing this, saying, parents, you have a power. You should be saying, why are we not teaching this to our kids? You're with our children for, 5-6 hours a day. Why can't we put that into the curriculum? So I know we got a little bit off topic there, but I think it's an important thing that, we should be looking at that. And one of the questions I was going to ask you is actually, what age should we start teaching kids? When is too young? There's an interesting fact, I'll talk about the Jews, and I'll tell you what they think, but what do you think in terms of when should we be teaching children to increase their financial IQ or, their financial knowledge?
Okay, so at the home age, I think introduce it as early as you feel comfortable to, in terms of the communication with you and your children. In terms of schools, and the statistic, one of the great impacts is from age 7. You see that. Now that's not to say you can't teach, the values of money and the kind counts from a younger age. But in terms of the key practicalities and principles of money management, a great age is from the age of 7.
Excellent.
And just to add about what you said about debt earlier, Denzil, as well, I think it's becoming the norm now that people are in debt. So there's a culture now that, well, you get it on finance, don't you? Well, how am I going to be able to buy that cash, really? It's becoming a norm now and a culture. You got to think to yourself now, if you put yourself in a position where all the people around you didn't do debt, right, or bad debt, didn't do bad debt, for example, and it was very much about preparing for the future, and this is the way things happened. There'd be a different learned behaviour.
But because our culture's so now...
circle of influence, the various things, it's becoming a norm.
That's a thing.
So money management, I know many years about money management, probably wouldn't understand what that meant. Nobody spoke about money management or managing your money or financial education as much.
But it wasn't their responsibility, because we all thought the government were going to take care of us, big companies are going to take care of us. Well, governments can't do that anymore. Big companies can't do that anymore. So it's actually your responsibility. Hopefully you're getting this on this video. It's your responsibility to take care of your financial future. And if you're not going to do that, think to yourself, in 5-10 years time, who will? Who will? So then this, talking about how young to start, I was listening to some information and the Jewish fact about when the Jews start teaching their children, and we all know the Jews have the Midas touch, which is basically anything they touch prospers. Okay, we know that they're known for money, being truly successful. I don't think there's a Jew who's ever been poor. I really don't. It's just known within their culture. Now I know that what they say is the Jews start teaching their children as soon as they can start to talk. So as soon as that child starts to talk, they start teaching them money management. Now, there's a biblical phrase that they have, and it says, teach a child of the ways of the Lord, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. Now, one of the things that they teach is a principle, and tell me what you think here, is the 5-jar rule. So they've got 50% spend, so whatever money you've got, if you've got £1, 50% you can spend on whatever. 10% on tithing. Now, tithing, for anyone who's not in a church background or anything like that, is 10% back to God. Okay, church or whatever you may be. 10% giving, so giving to the poor, charities. 20% to invest, and 20% to save. Okay, so that's the 5-jar rule that they talk about. What do you think about that?
I think it's a fantastic principle. They're talking about the jars and the ratios. Ours is very similar. So very similar to that breakdown. Excellent.
So what are you teaching? Okay, then let's talk about what kind of things are you teaching in schools, and give us an overview of the type of things that you are teaching in schools.
Well, one thing, we have a full financial education program. We have 12 lessons. First thing I would say, we make it complex, and we make it incredibly fun, engaging. We've got a character, Keepsy the squirrel, and as we know, well, as the children know, squirrels prepare for the future by putting some of the food they eat, the nuts, aside.
Perfect.
So one of the key things we teach children is to keep some of their money, right, to prepare for the future, because we cannot guarantee that money's going to be there. But what we can do, so every time some money comes in, is to keep some. Now, they remember that principle alone, that will transform their life if there's carry forward.
100%.
Because how many families or individuals keep money?
Well, you know, there's some interesting stats, and you know, we can talk about it in a minute.
Yes.
Of how many people actually save. I think it's something like 15% of people. So incredible stats that are out there of actually people who put away any money. Just something on there, you know, one of the things I just wanted to lead on, we do have a free ebook. Okay, so as much as we're talking, you're like, this is great. Okay, there's a free ebook that you can that will be downloadable from our website, and that will be going onto the website very soon. And if you want it now, you can email us at info@gen-hope.co.uk. Now it's a 36-page book, okay, that I've written, which I believe has, you know, I've read so many books. You know, Master Money, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, you know, Cash Flow Quadrant, you know, there's so many books, and the Bible, because the Bible talks a lot about money, you'd be surprised. And what I've done is taken the 8 key principles that I believe can help take your finances to the next level. So, but we're going to be talking about some of those principles within that. So one of the things I want to do is talk about principle number 1, actually from the ebook, and see what your thoughts are.
Okay, yes.
And I know you said that some of our principles actually work in line with what you're teaching as well, so we're agreed in that. Now, the principle number 1 is this, okay, so we talked about why we believe we should have financial money management, but I'm going to give you a principle that you can take away today, and if you put this into action, I really believe this can transform your life in terms of your financial security, and Gary actually alluded to it. The principle number 1 is, it's not how much you earn, but how much you keep. It's not about, so let me say that again, it's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. Now people go, whatever. Do you know, if I could earn more money, I don't know if you ever hear this, Gary. If I could just earn £5,000 more, £10,000, or if I was on 50,000, my gosh, I'd be financially set. And we all think that earning more money will take us to that place. But let's go for some facts. Okay, Mike Tyson. We all know Mike Tyson. Okay, now there was reports, and I thought it was 300 million. Now, talking to Gary earlier, he was saying that it's closer to 440 million that he earned and amassed in his time as the heavyweight champion of the world. He ended up bankrupt. How do you do that, Gary? That is some incredible spending. Like, I don't know how many Lamborghinis or mansions you have to buy to be able to do that.
Don't forget the white tigers in the mansions.
And the white tigers. But how expensive is a white tiger? I don't know, like, you know, like a couple of thousand, I don't know.
So we have some fun with the children, because we play various games and make things, you know, and we've highlighted, you know, how do these mega rich people, and even people that are not mega rich, how did they go broke? And you should hear some of the fantastic answers from the 7 and 8 year olds.
Go, give us some of the answers. How did someone from 400 million go broke? What's some of the answers?
Children will say, because they're not being wise, they're caring about themselves. You know, we hear things like, you know, they're trying to keep up with their friends and showing off.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
So
Wow.
We're hearing things.
We might have to bring one of the children in for a podcast.
They'll be saying things like, you know, it's all things that they want, but they don't necessarily need. So the children are talking about needs and wants.
Wow.
Some fantastic things.
Crazy
from the children.
Right, so you know we've got Mike Tyson, but Michael Jackson's another one. He amassed something like over I think $500 million, like 500 million he amassed, and still ended up bankrupt. You know, NBA players. I don't know if you know about the NBA. I was trying to see if I could get some stats on the Premier League, but what it says in the NBA, and these are some of the highest paid athletes in the world. These guys are multi-million-pound contracts. What it says is that 60% of them, once they finish playing after 5 years, will be in financial trouble. I couldn't believe that. Like, you're earning multi-million-pound contracts 5 years after. Like, I'm thinking like you should have paid off your house by then. You paid off your car. You know, you've got like 20 million in the bank. How are you having financial problems? But that's because they haven't got their financial education, basic financial education of just actually, you know, it's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. Keep on squirreling. Do you like the tie in there? You like the tie in there?
We use, you know, for the children, it's not how much you receive, it's how much you keep. Because obviously the children are earning at that age, it's more receiving, very things like pocket money and doing like chores and various things. But we have them saying that as a mantra. So that comes into one of our lessons, but yes.
Okay, so let's talk about, so people know the principle now. It's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. How much should you be keeping? What should we talked about the Jews who said that, you know, 20% for savings, 10% for, or 10% for savings, 20% for investments and things like that. What would you suggest? So someone watching this money, watching this podcast today, how much would you suggest we should be keeping?
For children, let's start with children first. That's how keep. For children first of all, our number one principle for keep on schooling is keep half, spend half.
Right.
So if the children receive £1, they keep 50p, and they spend 50p.
Right.
That's the key thing, and it's something that children from a very young age can adopt. They can put into practice. They're not loaded with all the debts of the world, the houses, paying for children, various things, and they can move forward with that keep half, spend half. But then with the keep half, well, we keep for 3 reasons, and we break that down, and then we're looking at then the money pots. Okay, so the first reason is to give. The second reason is to save. The third reason is to invest.
Right. And what's the difference? So we're going to talk about those 3 pots, and one of the podcasts we're going to go into asset allocation. I think that's really important about what you do with your money, and once again, that's in the ebook as well. But what's the difference between saving and investing? Why am I saving? And why am I saving for investing? What's the difference between the two?
Okay, so in terms of, what I'd say first of all, when we're looking at saving, there's one key thing you really want to save for first of all, is emergency savings.
100%.
Right, so there's something you need aside for a period of time, right, that you can get hold of that cash. Should there be emergency, should you need to get hold of money quickly. Thereafter, you're saving for certain things. It could be holidays, it could be a wedding, it could be a dream car, various things. But when we're looking at investing, we're looking more long term. We're looking at increasing the growth of money. We're taking it to a new level. Now, that's not to say there's certain things that people would save for that you actually wouldn't use an investment vehicle for to be able to get you there quicker and increase the amount.
One of the things that we talk about in the ebook is we have, we call it our high risk. Okay, so we have our savings, which is low risk, and then we have our high risk. So properties, shares, things like that are high risk. And actually, we suggest that actually then once you've looked after those 2 pots, then have a dream pot. Which dream pot is your low risk. You're not really bothered about the returns there, but you're saving for a car, you're saving for a holiday, or whatever it may be. So we could classify that, obviously, probably wouldn't talk about that with children, but a high risk account, and we start talking about investments and things like that. Okay, so one of the key things what you're saying then is, 50-50. Most people are saying that's unrealistic.
Yes, but
so
adults,
what
we hear absolutely. We hear this from adults, and that's why I go, well, this is the principle we teach for the children, right? Because they can move forward with that. And if they was to really continue with that principle, transform their lives. But in terms of adults, let's look at an adult now, okay? An adult that has the majority of their money going out, or may have some debts, right? What do you say? Start from the 3% principle. Okay? Or even start from 1%. Okay? You want to start putting some money aside. But even if you start from the 3% principle where you used to give 1%, you used to save 1%, and you used to invest 1%, I believe 3% a lot of people
like that
could do. But again, if it was that extreme, we could start from 1%, but 3% we could start now allocating, we could start putting money across money pots, we can start preparing for the future.
Because I think one of the powerful things that you're saying, it's not always about the money, but about the mindset. It's a principle, and that's why we call it the principles, the financial principles. Sometimes you may not have the money, that you want to put in, but get the principle. Because I guarantee you, everyone who says they don't have enough money, buying cigarettes, nights out, takeaways, Domino pizzas, Netflix. Well, actually, if you can afford those things, get rid of them, start saving. And we're going to teach you about compounding and invest and all those things. But first of all, you've got to get to that place of going, let me cut back my expenditures. If I don't have the extra surplus, then you have to now start cutting back. Okay, and a simple principle of 3%, 30 pence, less than 30 pence, I'm talking about 30%. You're talking about for every pound, 3%. It's ridiculous. Okay, 3 pence, could you do that? That's possible. Right? That's possible. So, listen, it sounds really simple, but the final question I want to ask you before we close off this podcast is, if I was saying to you, well, I've got debts to pay.
Yes.
I've got £15,000 worth of debt, or £10,000, £5,000. Surely I should be saving first. What would you say to that?
Okay, it's really interesting actually. So when we're looking at the spend pot, okay, and in the spend pot you've got your debts to pay off, you've got your bills, and there'll be some leisure money in there as well in your spend pot. Okay, you do need to make debt a priority in paying off.
Yeah,
that
100%.
is key.
Yeah.
Right. So we're not saying now you need to, start putting big money away for investing and saving, because you do want to put focus in to get rid of it. But the key thing is, right, you want to get into the mindset of still preparing for the future in terms of thinking about that I need to build up my savings.
Yeah.
Right. Putting some money into invest pot. Now here's the thing, Denzil. Right. People will say, here's the thing, right, and things can happen.
Yeah.
Right. And if you don't have emergency savings, you then have to go more and more into debt. Okay. So it's not only about learning principles about managing your money and allocating across your money across various pots, but it's then going, things do happen in life. 100%. And you don't want to keep going, right, this emergency's happened, so I'll just go into debt for it. This emergency happens, I'll just go into debt for it.
Yeah.
So there does need to be a focus on saving and having some emergency savings. There does need to be some focus there.
Okay. So here's the thing. What Gary's saying is, yes, still pay your debts.
Yes.
Okay, and we're firm believers, and we're both agree, both in Keep on Squirrelling and GenInvest. Pay off your debts, get those debts paid, because we're going to talk about compounding and how that's working against you if you have debts. Okay, but get the mindset of saving.
Yes.
I don't care. 3% is nothing.
Yeah. You can start 1% saving if you need to start there. Okay.
Yeah.
But you need to start. Have those little pots. Have the little save pot.
Yeah.
Have an invest pot. Have a give pot.
Yeah.
And if you just start with 1%.
Yeah.
But just get into that mindset. But really be thinking about, why do I need to emergency savings?
Awesome. Things
will happen in life. There is tough
100%.
times, it does happen. And you want to be able to go to there rather than to the debt collector, rather than to the debt man, you don't want to be going there.
100%. So look, very simple. First one we started off with, it's not about how much you earn. If you get this principle, I'm telling you, okay, you'll start to become financially secure, maybe even one day financially wealthy. If you get this principle, it's not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. Get out of the mindset that, if I earn 50,000 or 100,000, I'm gonna be better off, because guess what? You earn 100,000, you'll spend 100,000. Earn $1 million, you'll spend $1 million. And we've seen it time and time again. But if you can be that person who earns 20,000 and spends 15, and you bank away 5,000 a year, then that same principle will apply when you're earning 100,000. You'll be the person who's saying, I only need to earn, sit on 50,000, and you'll be able to bank 50 grand a year. It's a principle. It's not about the money, it's a principle. So get that managed today. So listen, thank you for joining us for the hashtag Real Talk podcast, where obviously GenInvest take over. Gotta say thank you to a good friend of mine, Gary, once again for coming in and sharing obviously his knowledge around that. Now listen, the number one thing, it's great that you're listening to this podcast, it's great that you're watching this maybe on Gen TV, but the most important thing is take action today. Take that one action today. Open that bank account and commit 1%, 2%, 3%, as Gary was saying, the 3% principle. Start doing that. Now, as we said, for anyone who's interested, we have the free ebook. Hit us up, send us DM us on social media or through YouTube. Obviously, it's going to be on the website very soon. We've got our technical guy working on that, so you can go to the website and download that. But for now, obviously, if it's not up, just email us straight and we will send you the free ebook. Also, for the first person who comments, on this, we will also send you a free financial planner, which is worth £10, where you're able to put your budgets in, monitor all that. So it's a great way of managing your money day to day. Also, I think, Gary, you've got a gift for anyone who maybe a teacher who's watching this. What would you like to offer them?
So for the heads of primary schools, we know that you have head teacher events, consortia, various things like that. I keep on screen. We're more than welcome to come out and deliver a free presentation towards the head teachers. But aside from that, we do have taste the assemblies that can happen into the schools. They're not free at the moment, but in terms of the presentations, they are. So do reach out to Keep on Squirrelling.
Awesome. So how can they find you? So on the social media, where are you at the moment?
Yes. Okay. So in terms of the social media, we are on Twitter at Keep on Squirrel. We're on Facebook, Keep on Squirreling. But if you head over to our website, www.keeponsquirreling.com. All our details and contacts is there.
Excellent. So remember to subscribe so you get these videos coming through every Wednesday. We're promising you financial education to take your life to the next level. Thanks for joining us. God bless you, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.